and today we are doing a cosplay get ready with me as Mew Ichigo from Tokyo Mew Mew. I know you all know how much I love me a pink magical girl, and it's been a long time coming for me to finally cosplay Ichigo, so I thought I would get ready with y'all, answer some questions, share with you what makeup products I've been loving, and yeah, just act like we're hanging out together and getting into cosplay. So if that sounds good to you, just keep on watching. All right, time to start the getting ready portion of the video, which I'm very excited to get into because it's been a minute since I've gotten into cosplay makeup on camera, at least. I think last time was Nana, but today, as you saw from the title, we're gonna get into Mew Ichigo. I thought it'd be cute to wear my little strawberry shirt because strawberries. And yeah, I screenshotted all the questions. I ask for questions over on Instagram, so if you ever want to participate in one of these little like cosplay Q&A videos, you can follow me over on Instagram and see when I'm asking questions. Because usually if I'm asking for questions, that means I'm probably filming a video, if that gives you anything. So let me grab. First thing I need to do is put it in my contacts. These are the Puffy 3 tones in pink. The Puffy 3 tones has become my favorite line of circle lenses. I have tried basically every color and I love them. They're incredibly comfortable, and I buy them either on Honey Color or Oh My Kitty is the other contact lens store I usually use. So let me go put these in. I need a tissue because I know my eyes are gonna hate this. First question is, who's your favorite Hasuno Sora girl? And I'm pretty sure the Hasuno Sora girls are the newest Love Live group project. I can't lie, I don't know anything about them. I have not kept up with them. Most of my energy is in the groups that have an anime, at least, because I really don't know what's going on with Hasuno Sora. I do know that one of them has a penguin as their like character image icon, and I think that's really cute, but otherwise I don't know anything about them. I've heard a few of their songs because my friend really likes their music, but I have not picked a favorite because I truthfully have not delved into Hasuno Sora yet. Also, I did already do my skincare, so I'm not going to include that in this video. If you do want an updated skincare video / like how I prep my skin for cosplay, I could do that. I know it probably currently doesn't look like my skin's all too great, but like, you know, pimples happen. And I can't lie, I don't like full coverage makeup. So like if that's something that you're super into, I don't know what to tell you. I will start though with a little bit of primer. This is my go-to primer. I dropped the cap on the floor, but I can hear it still rolling around the floor. I like this primer. It's like a silicone-y primer, so it really helps my makeup grip to my face. And what I like to do also is I put the primer on, but I don't immediately do my face makeup. I want it to like kind of set on my skin and bring it down my neck as well. I will say my current everyday and cosplay makeup routines are pretty much exclusively either Korean, Chinese, or Japanese cosmetics companies, mostly because I just find that I like their makeup the best. I find that I can get shades that look better on my skin tone. I have an easier time with the products. They do what I want them to do. You'll see as I talk through them. But the next question, while I go to prep, where'd my concealer go? There it is. While I go to prime my eyelids with concealer, the next question I got, what is one of the many reasons you love Tokyo Mew Mew? Which is so funny that you ask this whilst I get into Ichigo. Not that I said I was getting into Ichigo. I can't lie, I was debating between getting into Ichigo or Prism for this video, but I kind of want to save Prism for Magical Girl May next year. And I know you're probably like, Gabby, why are you planning for the videos you're gonna film next May? And to that I say, I don't know what to tell you. I love Tokyo Mew Mew for so many reasons. First of all, I have just the nostalgia of Mew Mew Power, watching that on 4Kids growing up. And I fell in love so hard with the magical girl genre as a child. And 4Kids, I feel like definitely helped that because of all the great series that they had at the time and like made it so accessible for other people to watch them. I loved everything about the show, especially like as a child. I was such a like big animal nerd that like I was that kid that would sit and read like an animal encyclopedia and just blabber off facts for like hours. I can't walk by a dog without telling you what exact breed of dog it is because that's how much my brain memorized animals. So for there to be a magical girl anime that also was very like animal focused, it just instantly like clicked me. And so from there onward, I just fell in love with the characters. I mean, so I watched it as a kid and then didn't know that there was like still more to the story until like I like was properly on the internet and was like all over YouTube, and then found out about Tokyo Mew Mew and saw that there were more episodes. And so then I rewatched the whole thing. And from that's what really made me fall in love with like the characters and who they are. To this day, Ichigo is such a special character to me, but also Mint. I love Mint. I love a snarky character, and I think that's evident from somehow in a very early age that a character like Mint became and still is one of my favorites. And as I've gotten older, I've loved so many of the characters more. Like, I used to love Pudding, but like when I was a little kid, I thought she was so annoying. But now, like, in like actually understanding why she is the way she is, and like actually understanding her whole arc, and like I just think as a kid I didn't understand it, and I feel like that's why I didn't like her. But now I like just absolutely love her. The thing I've been doing a lot recently is actually using a lot of blush in my eyeshadow looks. So this is the Deceit Violet Knit Palette. And the reason I got it is because everyone was talking about how like purple blush like makes your blush pop more, and I definitely will be using that in this. But I like taking these two like lighter pink shades and using that to kind of almost like warm up the eyes before I put more pinks on top. So that's what I'm gonna go do now. I'll actually zoom in. So you can see my eyes a little more. Hello, we're up close and personal. And while we're up close and personal, let's get the next question. What's your favorite Love Live series so far? So, I got into Love Live when Muse was basically ending, and that was when Aqua was starting up. So, I did like Muse, and then Aqua came, and I was like, ooh, I like them a lot. Then Niji came, and I really liked them, but then have not liked where the Niji anime went. I love the Niji characters. What their personalities were in the game is like nothing like the anime, and I just think the anime did Niji a disservice. And then Love Live Superstar, which is Liela's season, which is the one, I think season 3 is coming out in October. Someone correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure season 3 is coming out in October. I would say honestly, anime wise, I think Liela's my favorite. And let me explain why. I feel like original Love Live, the plot wasn't really as focused on the characters. And I think they improved that with Aqua, but I still think when it came to Aqua, there were a few characters that just didn't really have much going on. And then Niji tried to do the individual thing more, but I still think they dropped the ball on some characters. With Liela, as much as I will bash Liela season 2 because I think the introduction of the first years is not perfect by any means, I think Liela's journey into their characters and their personalities and their relationships, I think, is much stronger than the previous Love Live groups. Also, I really like Liela's music. The only thing Liela doesn't have up on the other groups, in my opinion, is costumes. I think their group costumes are not always the cutest looking, but I think they're probably my favorite. Like, I will always have a strong attachment to Muse, especially since that's what got me into Love Live. But I think if you ask me to pick a favorite based on like the characters themselves and like overall, I think I like Liela the best. And this all could change depending how season 3 goes. If season 3 is a huge flop and the addition of the 2 new girls ruins everything, I'm sorry. then I still would say maybe aqua is my favorite. And so I'm gonna take this little tapered brush and I'm gonna take this dark pink shade in the middle and I'm gonna go in and shape out my crease and the lower lash line just to really define that before we're gonna do some glitter, because if you ask me, you cannot have a magical girl without a crap ton of glitter. It's a necessity. And something I try to do a lot, when I say I'm gonna put eyeshadow in my crease, even though my crease is just like right here, I tend to also blend my eyeshadow above my crease, so that way when my eyes are open like this, you can still see my eyeshadow. And especially if I'm gonna be wearing like big false lashes, those will cover a good chunk of your makeup if you don't exaggerate the shape of your eye in some way. So I think that's good for now. We'll probably add more color once we do lashes and liner and glue and all that. Glue, I meant glitter. So I think this person kind of meant this is like a two-parter thing. First part being Precure series ranking when. Have you seen all of the Precure series? What are some of your uncommon thoughts of Precure? So I have not seen all of them yet, and that is the sole reason why I have not made a Precure ranking video of any sort. I do plan to make one once I watch them all. The only ones I have not seen through completion are Sweet. I've never seen Sweet. Maho Tsukai, Doki Doki, Happiness Charge, and I'm currently watching Splash Star. All the others I have seen. I mean, except like Wonderful's currently airing, so I feel like, you know, like I'm pretty much caught up on Wonderful. I think I might be one episode behind as of me filming this, but I don't want to make a ranking video until I watch them all, because I feel like I can't justly make opinions until I watch them all. And then what are some uncommon thoughts of Precure? I don't know. I feel like a lot of my uncommon thoughts, if you will, I have no problem with there being boy Precures. Not that that's an uncommon thought, but I see a lot of discourse around it. I have no problem with it. I like Cure Wing. I think Cure Wing's introduction was incredibly important to the series, and I could make a whole video about that. And they were basically building up to a boy Precure for a very long time. So like, you kind of can't really solely blame everything on the success of Wing when you had many other male characters that got us to that point. What else? Oh, so sorry. I'm gonna do eyeliner now. My favorite eyeliner. If you struggle with eyeliner in any way, this is my eyeliner I recommend to you. This is the Judy Doll Slim Liquid Eyeliner in black. Look how tiny this is. It is so easy to use. It is my favorite eyeliner. I'm gonna do the full line and then do my wings. Now, the wings might not be even. They might be a little small. I might have to go in and redo them when I finish my lashes, but this is the part I still struggle with. Eyeliner I've gotten better at, but it's still not necessarily my strongest makeup skill. Okay, so I have like the base shape down. I'm gonna, once I do like my lashes, then I'll like sharpen the wing a little more, but I'm able to do my eyeliner so much faster because this is so thin and easy to use. Where's the cap? Here's the cap. So while my eyeliner is drying, let's answer another question. Most memorable performance. That is so hard to choose. If you don't know, I dance with my friends. We're in a little dance group called Idolized. I will link our channel somewhere. And I've been dancing with them since 2017. Is it really 2017? I think it's, yeah, 2017. We've done so many different dance performances. It's so hard to say what's the most memorable because each one is so different in my mind because I love so many of them for so many different reasons. Like, I still think about the year we did Music Start at Anime Boston and Bouquet, and there were so many people just all crammed into one room. This was pre-COVID. And it was just so magical to have us do our own little set and then have so many other groups get to perform with us, and like to then see that we've gone from like that tiny little room that Anime Boston would give us to like the Idol Showcase stage. It's crazy. Oh my gosh. So Music Start feels very special because for me it feels like it's kind of like been the catalyst of all of that. I really did love doing Pomp and Circumstance at Anime New York City. That one we put so much work into and is definitely one of my favorite performances. It was definitely like choreography wise very much out of my like comfort zone, and it was really just so much fun to actually get to like perform that on stage, and it's a performance that I look back on still very fondly. Now that my eyeliner is dry, that what I've been doing a lot recently is, I don't know if you can tell, but like when you look at my lash line, there's still sometimes like gaps where like you can see like skin through the eyeliner. And I think that's just because I have puffy eyelids. I don't think this is an everyone problem, but what I've been doing is I take this dark brown eyeliner, and this one's from Clio. I love this one. This is actually the black brown liner, and what I do is I tight line my upper lash line to kind of fill in that gap, and so that way from all angles you don't see like any like eyelid skin. I don't want to call it eyelid fat because like it's not, it's just my skin, it's just the literal shape of my eyes. Fave dance you're working on right now. This is very hard to say. I have such a hard time picking favorites. I've been learning Magical Cure Love Shot since Miku Expo, and it's probably been my favorite thing to do because it feels like so perfectly quintessential idol-y, which is something I miss. I love doing very idol dances. And I'm definitely doing a few more of those this year, which I'm excited about. But what I love about Magical Cure Love Shot is it feels like such a love letter to being an idol. And it makes me very happy in general. I am going to try so hard to like bring that energy to whenever I perform it or record it. But I'm so nervous about it because I have such a hard time being like Genki. I want to be high energy and not to be like halfway, like I don't want to half-ass that. Like I want to fully commit to the energy and the character and not feel nervous about it. So I've been working on it and I'm having a lot of fun with it. And I always, especially if it's a new pair of lashes, wiggle around like the lash band a bit before you put the glue on, so that way it's a little more malleable when you go to try to put it on your eyes. I don't trim my lashes at all either. I like to kind of have them hang out like over my eye, if that makes sense. You'll see when I'm doing it, it makes a little more sense. But we're gonna just grab. All right, next question. Is there a magical girl show you've always wanted to watch but haven't gotten around to? I don't know. I don't know if this necessarily fully counts. I've never seen any of the Madoka movies. I know one of them is technically like a summary of the show, but there's the new movie coming out and then there's another movie before it, and I've been meaning to watch them for years. Have not watched them. I definitely want to watch the Madoka movies before the new movie comes out, because not that I know if anything's all connected, because Madoka is kind of like that. Or also, what was it? I want to say it was Magic Eye Record was like a kind of spin-off. Please correct me if I'm wrong. I remember when it was coming out, but I did not watch it, and I always liked the character designs. I know the game died, but I still kind of want to watch the show. I can't think of other magical girl. I mean, besides like the really nostalgic ones. Like I really want to watch Creamy Mommy because I just feel like a lot of the more like early nostalgic magical girl shows I haven't really seen. So I would say that's probably what I want to watch. But often end up just rewatching things that I know I love, which I'm trying to get better at. I'm trying to finish anime this year. I'm really trying. All right. I think we're gonna get into some glitter. My favorite glitter palette is this one by Romand. It is, what is it called? It's called the Light and Glitter Garden. And it's all these different sizes of glitters. Like there's some like finer glitters and some more like chunky glitters. What I like to do is I kind of put the chunkier glitter in like the middle of my eye and like a finer glitter part around like the inner part of the eye. So I'm gonna take this like pink chunky glitter and just put some on like the center of my lid and like up into like that crease area. And actually, even though I said I would probably put finer shaped glitter on like the inner corners, this is my new favorite product that I've ever used. I've not seen anyone talk about it. It is the Romand Twinkle Pen Liner, and I have the one in Silver Flake. It is basically like a glitter eyeliner pen. I love this thing. I've been using this thing every day since I got it. I'm obsessed with it. I want to get it in more colors, and all I'm gonna do is just line my inner corner. I'll probably touch this up also after I do concealer under my eyes, but it just adds the cutest, like it's not like glittery, but like you can see the difference. Like look between my two eyes on camera, like it just makes the inner corner pop, but it's not like glitter. Because sometimes I get nervous putting glitter on like my inner corner, because sometimes if it's too chunky it can like irritate my eye. All right, we're now onto the face makeup, and this is where we're gonna get into it. Now, I said this earlier, I don't love super high coverage makeup. I find it irritates my skin. Honestly, it makes me break out more if I wear super heavy coverage makeup. And I'm sorry, if I have a pimple showing through my makeup, there's this crazy little thing called editing a photo. And if you have a problem with someone editing their skin in a photo to get rid of a pimple, that's a different problem. But we're gonna get into, oh, I should have grabbed my face products earlier. But we let that primer sit for a while, and now I'm going to go in with my current favorite foundation. I love this thing. This is the Unleashia Don't Touch Glass Pink Cushion in the shade 21 Neutral. And I love this. I've always wanted to try cushion foundation, and I do have the Tertier one to try, but I like this one so much. And if I don't like the Tertier one as much, this is going to be my go-to. It is just so good. I would show you what the inside of mine looks like, but it is so messy. But so basically, you like press the button on the side and the product comes out, and then you have like a little cushion sponge. So what I'm going to do is take some of the product and put that on my skin. And I'm not gonna do this now because I'm just doing this for a video, but if I was wearing this to a convention, then my next step before I blend it all in, I take setting spray and put it on a sponge, either like the cushion sponge or like a makeup sponge. And I find that that makes the foundation last even longer than me just spraying setting spray on. But I'm not gonna do that today because we're just getting ready for a little video. So let me just pat this in. Favorite action cartoons as a kid that weren't anime. I would say my favorite, especially like honestly, my favorites were obviously Avatar: The Last Airbender. That is still one of my favorite shows. I go back and rewatch it. I love it very much. I really enjoyed Shaolin Showdown, if anyone else remembers that show. I honestly have wanted to go back and rewatch it because I can't remember if it had a proper ending or not. And I'm so curious how it ends. This doesn't count as me watching as a kid, but as an adult, one of my current favorite cartoons, and my friend introduced me to it, is Scissor 7. If you love action, comedy, really funny voice acting, highly recommend Scissor 7. Also, the art style is just so cool and the music is really good. Highly recommend it. I'm loving Scissor 7. All right, that is how that looks. I'll blend it out. And like, yeah, you can still see like some of my natural like redness, but like I would rather have that and like have my skin be breathable than like it feels super heavy. I'm just taking a little more on those red areas, but we are gonna go in with some concealer. But even still, I like that my skin looks like skin. And do a little bit around my under eye, sides of my nose, a little on my cheeks because we are gonna be doing blush, a little on my chin. I'm just gonna grab a little makeup sponge and blend that out. And while we're still on the cream products, another thing I've started incorporating into my routine is a cream blush. This is the Lily by Red cream blush in the shade number 2. And when I show you this, you're gonna be like, oh, that's pink. It is so pink. And I love it. It looks really aggressive when you put it on, but it blends out into like a really nice cool toned pink blush. So that is what I'm gonna start with. And what I do is I take it on my finger and I go up around like my cheekbone near my eye area. And then a little bit on my nose, a little bit on my Cupid's bow, and then on my chin. Because we're gonna put more blush on. You can't be a pink magical girl without a crap ton of blush. You gotta have a lot of glitter and you gotta have a lot of blush. So I'm just gonna go in and blend this out with my finger. I am blending this close to my eye because I want that like soft kind of shoujo glow, if you will. Next, I'm gonna go in with my current favorite setting powder. This one is from CanMake and it is their Marshmallow Finish Powder. Now, this is like a colored face powder. So if you have darker skin, I don't necessarily recommend this, but CanMake does have a translucent powder as well if you are looking for a powder recommendation. But there's something about the formula of this powder that just makes my skin look so smooth and just like natural looking without it being super cakey and heavy looking. So what I'm gonna do, take a brush and I'm just going to get some powder on my brush, tap off the excess, and then I'm just gonna gently pat it into my skin because you can see already like my forehead looks shiny, around my cheeks is shiny, everything kind of looks shiny because of that foundation we used. But I don't necessarily want to get rid of all that shine. So I'm going to mostly focus on my forehead, the sides of my nose, the sides of my mouth, and then kind of leave everything else to be a little bit shiny. So let's go. What's a hobby you've never tried but have always been interested in? There are so many. I am very easily influenced to constantly want to try new things. Like, I can even already think at the top of my head, I really want to learn how to crochet. I've tried to learn how to knit. It was not successful for me, so I've really wanted to learn to crochet. I really want to take a glass blowing class. I want to learn how to make glass. I think glass is really cool. I would like to get better at sewing, but I mean, that's something I've tried. I want to learn how to rollerblade or roller skate. I've never done either. I've learned how to ice skate, and so I would hope they'd be kind of similar. Other things, I'm trying to think of other fun things, other hobbies. I feel like there's definitely like different sports and like physical activities that I also really want to learn or get better at. I would like to take more like proper dance classes and like actually build up some amount of like dance training, but I haven't really thought about what specific style of dance I want to try. I did tap and ballet as a kid, and I honestly do want to try both again, but I haven't found a good way to like be a beginner of something as an adult without being surrounded by adults that actually know what they're doing. Does that make sense? I did also start gymnastics this summer, which is something I did as a kid, but I want to find more of like a class for it because kind of the gym that I'm at is more like open gym and not really like a structured class. So I would like to take more like structured gymnastics courses. Currently I am contouring. I'm using that same like little Judy doll palette. And I'm taking the lighter shade and I'm just contouring the sides of my nose. And then I'm gonna go down right here on my cheek. On both sides. It's kind of like on, like under my eye, if that makes sense. So like here, because I find that it kind of helps make my nose look a little smaller. And then I'm gonna contour the tip of my nose a little. I'm trying to get better also at contouring. That's a skill I would like to improve at that I've never gotten good at. And if at any point you feel like you're putting too much product down or it's too dark, you can just take a little bit more face powder and blend it out. But that is typically where I do all my contouring. Then I'm gonna take that blush palette I was using earlier and I'm gonna go in with that purpley blush on this little bitty brush. And you may be like, Gabby, why are you using a little brush for your blush? This is typically what I normally use as a blush brush. This is the brush I'm going to be using, and you will understand why soon. So typically, and the way I always learn to do makeup is, you know, take a blush brush, the apples of your cheeks, go out. Sometimes I don't think it looks necessarily flattering on me to do my blush that way. And so I've been finding with a littler brush, I have more control of where I can put the majority of the product. So instead of kind of my blush being like all, like concentrating it like all over my cheek, I can pick exactly where I want to concentrate it. So I find this little brush way more helpful for me, at least. So I'm taking some of that purpley blush and I'm going underneath my eye where we put the cream blush. And you can see even there, like it's giving like that perfect cool toned blush, and that's what looks good on me, I think. I don't know. I don't know my color analysis. Am I a summer? Am I a spring? What am I? I would love actually to get a color analysis. But I think cool tone stuff looks better on me, as I've recently discovered after buying a crap ton of warm toned makeup. I think cool tone looks better on me. So I'm taking that purpley blush and then also going underneath my eye and kind of going down to the apples of my cheeks. But I'm not going much further than like this point on my face. Like it's basically lining up with my nose. Because I feel like sometimes when I use this brush, it goes like further down on my face and I just don't think it looks as nice on me. So that is what I have been doing instead. Hello, I am a cat now. My ears are not even, and we're accepting that because when I'm wearing this cosplay, I'm gonna force one of my friends to stab them in my head. So they're relatively even. We're gonna do the last step, which is lips. And for that, we are going to answer the last 2 questions. Oh, I know, there was more than 2 questions. Oh, I feel so bad. I read my questions backwards. I will answer one more question in this video, and I will save the rest of these questions for another one of these. So the last question I'm gonna answer is, what's your favorite drink? Now, I am a seltzer addict. I drink a concerning amount of seltzer. I drink it every day, probably at least 2 cans a day. And it's the most water I probably drink. I hate water. Unless it is ice cold, I do not like water. I love me a good cranberry juice. I like anything citrusy. I like lemonade a lot. I love mixing lemonade with things. Like a strawberry lemonade. Ooh, I like grapefruit juice. So good. Big coffee drinker. I love coffee. My current addiction is making myself a pistachio latte at home. I've been enjoying that a lot. I'm starting with just like a pinky color overall. This one is lilac cream, and don't let the fact that it's called lilac cream fool you. It's like a pink, like a purpley pink color. While that is setting, I'm gonna grab this one from Holika Holika. I can't lie, I initially bought it because it's a cute little heart. And this is in the color Bubbly. And I'm gonna take this color on the center because it's more of a reddish color. And then I'm gonna take a tissue and use that to kind of blend it into a gradient. that is the finished makeup look. I am so excited to now cosplay Ichigo at Pop Cult. If you are going to Pop Cult and you see me, please come say hi. I love getting to see you. And I know it's a small local con, but it is one of my favorite little ways to end off my summer because it's just such a nice time seeing everyone. Thank you all so much for watching this week's video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. And if you're new here, yes, you, make sure you hit the subscribe button. It's right there. Woo! And in the comments, please leave any questions you have for a future one of these videos. I do have the rest of those questions saved, so I will answer those in a future cosplay get ready with me video. Secondly, let me know what character you would like me to get ready as next. I am thinking of either maybe doing Yuzuria from Hell's Paradise or Nobara from JJK, so let me know. Or if there's another character that I cosplay that I haven't done a makeup get ready with me for, leave that for me in the comments. If you would like to see photos of this cosplay, I plan to be shooting Ichigo at Pop Cult, so if you follow me over on my Instagram, oh my god, I realized I did not put the armbands. Oh my gosh, this whole time I've been like, I feel like I'm missing something and I couldn't think of what it was. I'll put them on for taking the thumbnail photo, but y'all are gonna have to deal because it's so hot and I don't want to turn my air conditioner on to ruin the audio. But if you would like to see me properly in cosplay taking photos, I will be posting those over on my Instagram, which is always linked in the description. And yeah, thank you all so much for watching and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!